I just want to welcome to the show Brittney Tollinchi. Thanks for being here.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this conversation.
Oh my gosh, me too. Seriously, this is like the good side of social media, right? And although we have connected through other programs too, so let's just jump right into that, right? Like
Go
we
for
have
it.
something super exciting coming, and I know you individually have a lot of stuff, but we are both authors in the Joyful Entrepreneur Volume 3.
Can you believe that? How exciting. And what a whirlwind too, because right, like deadlines were moved up and somehow, some way, this incredible group of people came together and we're like, you know what? Hey, if Holy Spirit is saying move, you move. You
Yeah.
move fast. And that's what we did. I'm so proud of all of us.
I know, right? Yeah, this one was a whirlwind. I did volume 2, and of course, I think I joined kinda late in that one too, so it was a similar process for me, but, yeah, do you now is this your first book?
It is, yes. So I've always had one of those things where it's like you grow up and people are like, you should write a book about that. You should write a book about that. And you kind of just almost sweep it under the rug. And then through a series of events, I was not looking for it. The opportunity absolutely found me. It was almost like pressed on me, if we're being
Mhm.
very honest. And it was like, you've got to write this. And I said, I don't think so. That sounds absolutely crazy. And, it was
I
like,
love
"No,
it.
you've gotta write this," and the second I sat down, it poured out. So every single space, I just know it was absolutely meant to be.
Oh, absolutely, and that's the whole thing, right? That whole when you say yes, to God, the Holy Spirit prompting, and boom, he just
Mhm.
opens the floodgates, right? Do you wanna
Abs
share that story of how it kinda got pressed in? And then I wanna get into your backstory and how you actually got to this point of all the things that are coming, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's one and the same. So, yeah. So how it came about. So I guess I'll go back a little bit. I was living a different dream. Literally a year ago, I was living a different dream. I spent about 20 years in corporate environments. I was thriving. I loved it. Award-winning leader, award-winning teams for my global impact, and then, or we could say, but God, right? But God. So I felt this whisper in my heart that I was supposed to be more intentional with the things that I was bringing forth, and that they were no longer meant to only be contained inside the box of corporate. And so for the first year and a half, I fought him on that, which is very normal for me. I'm very stubborn. I'm a fighter at heart. It was like, okay, you couldn't possibly know what you're talking about. We like the box, God. Remember, we like the box. And got to a point where I just knew the whisper in my heart could no longer be denied. It turned into that undeniable roar. And I just knew that I was supposed to quit one chapter so that I could make space for whatever was meant for me to find me. As crazy as it was, because I am very much so a proud, your typical high achiever, type A. You bet your bottom dollar. I wish that I would have had a plan. I wish I would have had a side business. I wish I would have had clients. I wish I would have had so many things, but I just knew I was supposed to first close the chapter. So I did, in March of this year, 2024. I took that leap, and literally 30 days later, after just being still with settling into the identity that I had been preparing for, settling into, back into my family, because it had been quite the season over the last several months. I had a phone call with this beautiful soul that I had met a year ago. Again, not looking for anything other than just making some connections. And she invited Tamara Andrus, she invited me into the book. And so I'm so grateful for this space where in this chapter I get to share about one of the toughest things I had to do, which was learning how to quit.
Mhm.
So I had to learn how to quit so many things, and we can go into that if you'd like. But yeah, that's a little bit about how it all came about.